Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here for a little bit of an impromptu live stream. We are seeing some pretty big movements in the market right now for gold and silver and platinum and everything out there. So I thought I'd just jump on for a short little impromptu live stream. So we'll wait a few minutes for a few more people to jump in the chat. Feel free to say hello when you are in. And if you're watching this on the catch up, let me know your thoughts on this crazy old time that we're seeing for gold right now. I have not really done very many videos on the current sort of situation in the world. Kind of haven't really had the time. We've been doing so much other stuff with the visit to Chards over this last couple of weeks, so we've been getting through a lot of that content. So really interesting times though right now to be a precious metal stacker and in this whole world. So I thought I'd do a little bit of an impromptu chat and see how you all are, because it certainly is a crazy old world right now. Rockzilla in the chat. Hello, my friend. Yep, gold is certainly going crazy at the moment. There's no doubting it. And not going to lie, it has been an interesting one to watch from the sidelines for the last couple of weeks and months. And yeah, I think it's going to go further. Thanks very much, Joseph Jones. Welcome into the chat. For everyone who's just joining, please feel free to say hello. We've got Rockzilla, channel member in the chat. Thank you, my friend. How are you? Meatface156, afternoon. Where are we at with gold? Well, I think we're currently, well, we certainly hit some all-time highs. That's one of the reasons I wanted to jump on and just do a little bit of an impromptu live stream. We're not going to be here for massive amounts of time, but just thought it'd be an interesting one to catch up with everyone, see how we're all doing in this crazy old world, because it is a little bit mad. And I thought it's always nice, I think, to hear a kind of voice of reason, because I've started seeing, as all of you will have done as well, all of the different videos out there and commentaries about how silver and gold are now just immediately about to go to the moon. I think there are some obviously big geopolitical things going on in this world that we are seeing right now, but I'm not entirely sure there's still a moonshot happening anytime soon. So I wanted to do a little video about that. We've got some pretty cool stuff lined up for the rest of the week with regards coin stuff, but there's not really a kind of commentary on bigger kind of geopolitical situation I've done. And I will be doing something on it, giving it a bit more thought over the coming weeks. But yeah, it's just a very difficult time. So let's go into the chat. We're just going to be here for maybe 20 minutes today, just having a little bit of a chill sesh, seeing how we all are, because I know as well there's going to be a lot of anxiety out there with metal purchasers and stackers and people who perhaps sold some gold the other day because they thought that was the high, but now we're at the all-time high. L. Bryant just says he needs to sell over 1 kilo of gold soon due to a divorce. Do you reckon go for it now? Well, it's going to be a really difficult one to know. When is the actual high? And that's something a lot of people have been struggling with to find out. That's, you know, the big thing on the cards right now. It's when is the actual time to go really, really on gold. So it is difficult to know. Sorry, I just had a notification come up on my phone there. It is difficult to know exactly when the high will be. In fact, I was talking about this with a good friend of mine the other day, and I said to him, it's going to crash straight through 1,500, and I personally think we're going to see £1,600 an ounce gold. That'll probably be like, I don't know, 2,100 in dollars. So we'll have to see how it goes over the coming weeks. But I think now with the news that we're looking at these basically oil embargoes, not taking Russian oil, I think that's going to have a huge impact on the kind of global economy. So yeah, interesting times ahead. Now, if we head to the chat, we've got Larry, son of Larry. Oh, I beg your pardon, I'm defocusing the camera. Larry, son of Larry, says, thanks for being there, BYB. Voice of reason in these crazy times, it's comforting. Yeah, it's difficult. You know, I like talking about gold and silver. I like doing my commentary videos about gold and silver. But it's a bit of an interesting timing with a lot of the videos that I've had out at the moment with regards to charts. I'm sorry, I'm having an awful time focusing today. I'm actually just in a spare room balancing on some table mats, trying to get in focus. There we go. Yeah, difficult at the moment to see where things will be. We're at an all-time high in terms of pounds. That, you know, is usually an indicator that perhaps things are going to go down again at some point. But to be quite honest, I still think that £1,600 an ounce gold is around the corner. Exactly when that will happen, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So it's honestly anybody's guess. I think if you are holding some gold right now and you needed the cash for something else, perhaps if you're looking to buy a car or a house, or maybe looking to even get into something else, then now is, fundamentally an okay time to sell. But if you're not going to be doing anything with that cash, it's like, well, what's really the point? I kind of feel like, if we are saying that this stuff is really important to have and hold for a long period of time, then just selling it right now, I think, is a really difficult thing to justify if you just want to cash in a bit of profits. Because for me, I just want to go out and make sure I had more gold going forward into the future. So Joseph Jones says it's not at an all-time high in the US. I thought it was. I thought we'd seen that tick over. I think it was like $2,050, wasn't it? Something like that, but I might have been wrong. Certainly here in the UK, we've got it over the all-time high, which was 1,574, I think, or something. I've got a snapshot of 1,578. So, it is definitely at all-time highs here in the UK, which is really interesting. So I'd love to know what you guys think, though. Are you a buyer of gold right now, even at these all-time high prices? Are you going to be adding to the stack over the coming days and weeks? It's something that I've been toying with. A lot of people will also be thinking about the same thing, I'm sure, but it is difficult to know when to still be buying or whether this is just a temporary increase. I do think that there'll be price drops, as with always when these things happen. So Meatface says we're in a tough time in his opinion. He loves metals, but don't forget food. Yeah, I agree. There's always going to be a lot of hype now that's going to come in, and there's going to be a lot of people telling you that now is the time before it really goes up to the thousands and thousands of dollars an ounce and tens of thousands of dollars an ounce. It's not going to go that high. It will go that high if big bombs start dropping, but I don't think that's the way the world's going to go. So we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, the ratio hasn't changed actually that much at the moment, Meatface. Silver has gone up stupidly well as well over the last couple of weeks. So it is going to be an interesting one to see whether or not there's a run up on silver more so than gold. I personally think with the larger geopolitical concerns in the world right now, that there's more chance that the ratio will continue to drop in favor of silver being cheap. So in other words, that means gold price is going to continue to go up even further, but the silver price will remain relatively low compared. So that's not a financial opinion. That's just me thinking about what the bigger picture in the world is. A lot of people in the world are worried about the long term of what's going to be happening with Ukraine and Russia and everything. So I just who knows is the honest answer. But we'll have to wait and see. If the ratio really does start changing, I will very strongly consider swapping out some of my silver for gold. I think if silver really does continue to go up further, it will be my way of adding more to that long-term security stack without actually having to pay essentially the really high prices. If you've been able to cash out some of your silver to do that, that's a really good thing. So we've got 42 people in the chat here. Let me know where you are in this big, bad, crazy world. It'd be great to hear from everyone down in the chat. If you've got any questions that you want to ask about gold, silver, or anything, then just let us know. John Average says, Adam's in the chat as well. Hello, Adam. How are you doing, my friend? He was one of the very kind people I met at Chards. Anyway, back to John Average, who says 197,576 tons is the total mined ever. If global currency ever gets gold backing, then, well, yes, I agree, but I've done plenty of commentaries, I think, John, on why we are not going to see a gold standard happen again anytime soon. I do think that we're a long way away from that. I think the world will have to fundamentally shift, so we'll just have to see. Saxon Stacker says 1,578 reached. Yep, I know. I had a screenshot of it a couple of minutes ago at that level. You guys will have to keep me up to date on it because I'm doing an impromptu live stream today here on my phone, just chilling, and thought it was a bit poignant because as Adam in the chat, Adam Ball will know, we have been very busy with lots of different videos that we filmed with the bullion dealer Chards, and I haven't had there's also other reasons as well, but I haven't had really the time to actually talk about the big kind of world of metals that is right now. So HD Diner Lowrider says, hello everybody. Hello everyone, BYB. The silver I've exchanged into gold has done well. Yes, that's a good idea. And as I said, playing the ratio I think is a potential option for me as well as a stacker going forwards. Joseph Jones, gold standard. Yeah, for many reasons. I really think the gold standard is a good idea fundamentally, but it's not in a big modern global world. Unfortunately, it's just not right for the world has fundamentally changed since the 1850s to 1880s when it was really, at its height. And there's a great podcast that I listened to from Radio 4 all about the gold standard and the history of it. And it is fascinating to see the history. So we'll just have to see how that goes. Palladium, Adam Ball says, is scary. Yes, there has been some big old movements in platinum and palladium this last couple of weeks. I think palladium is at its all-time highs as well. Platinum is certainly nowhere near its all-time high, but it's gone up more than gold and silver. So platinum would have been one of the best things to hold over the last couple of weeks. Although I did see an article today saying that the single best metal that's performed in the last few weeks has been nickel. And that is quite interesting. And we should have perhaps looked to have had a metric ton of nickel because you would have made nearly 110% profit on that. But of course, stacking a metric ton of nickel is probably not as easy as you might think. So yeah, it is scary, these movements in these other metals. And Adam there rightly pointing out that in just 11 days we've seen some absolutely massive growth on these metals like palladium and platinum. And I think it's just a sentiment that is reflected in the way the world is right now. We've got a lot of craziness happening in terms of geopolitical situations and oil and gas and energy, cost of living crisis. There are just so many different things right now. And I do think that there are a lot of reasons why having gold and silver is such a good thing right now, which is why it's interesting whenever we are the stacker's quandary, I like to call it the stacker's quandary. We are all hating the higher prices because we can't buy any more of it. It is interesting to think that, for example, when I was up at the wonderful Chard's coin and bullion dealers the other day, Adam in the chat, give all of you, give Adam a quick say hello. He allowed me to play with their kilo bar. And if I had, say, walked out of that shop having bought that bar on that day, then compared to now, that would be £180 per ounce increase over 32 ounces of gold. That's maths I can't even do in my head. So you're looking at what? If we do £200 an ounce times 32, that's going to be like, I can't even do maths right now. £6,400 minus a little bit for the 180. So you're looking at least probably 5.5 grand's worth of equity increase in just 3 weeks since I was up there talking with the good people at Chard's, which is pretty mad. Joseph Jones says that he has been hoarding copper pennies and lots of nickels inside of AM Mocan since 2020, and he hasn't recycled any aluminium since 2020. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a very, very practical thing to do, but I also have got a large jar of coins, not specifically for their content in metal. But when I do finally do what I am going to call as my next viral video, a giant jar of coins that I cash in to see how much gold I can buy, I will be probably siphoning out all the copper ones because they're worth more than that. But anyway, so let's quickly, got 55 of you in the chat now. It's nice to have you all in here. I know it's been a very long time since I've done my last live stream, but I did want to, as I say, just jump on and do a little bit of a live stream to just, I guess, even commemorate the all-time highs of the gold price right now. I'm just getting distracted by Adam Bell doing his shameless plug for Chard's. The gold stack video draft is in his inbox and he's proof watching shortly. Guys, if you have not seen, not many people have, what £3.5 million worth of gold might look like, then goodness me, you guys need to have a subscription with the Chard's channel right now because goodness me, it's going to be quite the thing. Adam, I am super looking forward to that and I hope to see it very soon. So yeah, we are at all-time highs for gold and silver and it's quite an interesting time. So, as I said, this is going to be a relatively... Adam, you're so kind, my friend. I love to see that. Button Bash says you can't wait to see that as well. Guys, go and check out the Chard's Bullion and Coin channel. If one of the moderators could link it, I can't really link it right now as I'm just doing an impromptu stream on my phone. So, definitely worth going and checking out. But, guys, I wanted to do this little impromptu live stream just to remind everybody, and this will be my parting sort of next 5 minutes. We'll cut it off at the 20 minutes mark. So, we've got 5 more minutes now. If you want to ask any questions or leave any comments or anything that you want to talk about, then now is the time. But basically, we're at this point in the geopolitical world right now where there are a lot of scary things happening. And it is important to just remember to sit back and not go too mental. there's going to be, I think, a lot of new commentaries coming out over the next couple of days, talking about these all-time highs. You'll get all of the, the Redditors just jumping on bandwagons going, it's happening now, it's going to the moon. I don't mean to be too derogatory towards those people, but ultimately I think a lot of their commentaries are very agenda biased and driven by things like essentially just ad revenue. It's not, not a thing that people will freely admit, but let me tell you, they will earn a lot of money from their ad revenue and affiliate bonus codes. And I do think there's a lot of that that's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. So do have a very, very sort of open mind look at what's happening over the next couple of weeks, and just maybe think to yourself, is now really the time to buy a lot of gold at the all-time highs? It's the stacker's quandary. We want to have cheap prices on gold to add more of it to the stack. And then if you are in a position where you do want to actually sell it, or you're able to sell it, then if you need the cash for something, then now is the best time to sell. There is no doubting about it. But if you don't need the cash, I think holding the gold is so much more important than not. So there's a whole host of different things that I feel very strongly about, and that I will be, talking about more in due course on my channel. But for right now, it's Chards week. We have a lot of very cool stuff coming out, and let me tell you, the video that's coming out tomorrow is hilarious, because we're genuinely doing this. We're genuinely filming in Chards, and the owner of Chards, Lawrence, just walks up into the room with this big giant box and goes, "Look, I just found this in the vault." And it's literally a box of £100,000 worth of scrap gold, which I think is hilarious. So definitely worth, just checking out the video tomorrow to see that, and then some of the others. But we will be doing a commentary more on gold and silver, my thoughts on it in more depth. I like to do a little bit more research on these things than just sitting here on a live stream and rambling. Despite what a lot of people might think, I do actually plan a lot of my videos. So content creator says he thought this was a pre-uploaded video and he didn't know it's live. No, hello, it is live. Fossil Metal's in the chat as well. We're going to only be here for another 3 or 4 minutes, guys, before I have to shoot off, because we've got some hungry dogs that need both walking and feeding. So if you've got anything else that you want to talk about or ask before we wrap up this little live stream, then now is the time. John Jack B says, I never got gold this month, just a couple of silver collection coins. I'll save money, ready for the price to fall in a month or two. Well, you've hit the nail on the head there, John. I do genuinely think that we're not going to be seeing these prices being sustained for a very long time. I think if anything, we'll have maybe another couple of weeks of ups and downs with it reaching new all-time highs. I certainly think that £1,600 an ounce gold is on the cards. 2,100 an ounce in silver, in dollars for gold as well. But I do think as well there will be some drops down as well. So there will be, I think, more time to buy gold. I'm not certainly buying gold right now. I was looking very closely at buying some gold the other day, but I thought even at $14.50 an ounce spot price it was too high, and then of course now at these ridiculous all-time high prices, it's just not right for me. The only exception to that would be if I'm selling some gold to buy some gold, and that's another thing that I'm going to be talking about in due course as well, where I might look to cash out some of the premium gold that I have in favor of buying some new gold. And it can be worked in such a way that you'd be able to essentially, basically just add extra ounces of gold to the stack. I'm seeing a few comments about 401ks, which I believe are like the pension scheme, presumably like in the UK where you have a private invested pension, you'll have it probably relatively heavily invested in the stock markets. Now is not the right time to cash those out if you've been invested for a long time. Riding waves of lows within stock markets is the only way by which pension schemes actually end up being worth anything over the long haul. So it's definitely not worth selling them, I would say, but I'm not a pension advisor, I'm not a financial advisor. Content creator, yeah, 2016 it was $1,000 an ounce for gold, now it's over 2,000. It's the same for us in the United Kingdom. I remember some of my early bits of gold being, around the £900 an ounce mark. In fact, I remember buying a sovereign back in late 2015 off eBay. I actually ended up selling it at some point because it had made me a profit. It was before I was a real gold bug, but I bought a sovereign off eBay for £159. I ended up selling it for about £200. It was to fuel the, fuel some of the silver that I was buying at the time. £159, 160 basically for a sovereign is completely unheard of, and never, I think, will we see those prices again. So a few more little bits in the chat. We've got Mateo Man, gold high good, my stack is worth more. Gold high bad, I can't buy anymore. Exactly. The stacker's quandary, my friend. It's a curse. It's definitely a curse for a lot of us stackers out there. We've got Michael saying gold will go to $2,300, 1,700 sterling, and then once Ukraine agrees not to join NATO, gold will drop down to 400 sterling. Stocks will have a final hooray, and then stocks will crash. Gold goes to the moon. It's quite the history of the world you've written in a short YouTube live stream comment, but I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying. I don't think the final sentence is right, though. I don't think we're going to go and see a moonshot anytime soon. A lot of people saying they won't buy now, which is really interesting. That's a nice little metric to kind of see right now. But I know that there will be a lot of other people out there who are very concerned about the bigger picture of the world right now that will be looking to buy more. So that's why I wanted to drop on and do a little bit of an impromptu live stream. We are going to start wrapping this up now because it has been a really interesting week, and I thought only right just to talk a little bit about gold and silver as the all-time highs hit. We will be doing more actual kind of slightly more researched and planned commentaries on these types of topics over the coming weeks, so please do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't already done so, please do hit the little thumbs up button because it does help everything that we do here over on our YouTube channel. So we'll be on for another minute. If anyone's got any last minute questions they want to ask, Silver Eagle Premium, yeah, the premiums have gone up. God, I haven't even talked about premiums. There are a whole load of different things to talk about. People saying gold will hit to 2100. Yeah, put your last little guesses in now in the live chat where you think gold will be. I think it's certainly going to go over 2100. I think probably about 2200 is the top that I will see. It's interesting, Dialer Turden, you say pre-33 gold is flying. It was once looked upon not so great, and now it is the thing to buy. It's interesting how markets come and go for these different things. NNWO says the Great Reset is upon us. Charles has signed up the World Economic Forum. Digital currency is a nightmare. I'm not entirely sure this is the Great Reset, but we'll have to see. $32 an ounce silver, says HD Dynalawa. Maybe. Lowrider, sorry. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. The message here, though, is to stay sane and stay safe. Thank you one and all for joining me on this little impromptu live stream. I'm very, very good to see you all here again, and I'm glad that we could hang out a little bit and commemorate this massive high that we've seen. It's huge. It's gone to the all-time highs. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.